Afternoon, America. Brian James Blem here. I want to welcome you back to another episode of What the Fuck's Up. What do I want to talk about today? I want to talk to you a little bit today about taxes and how the government uses taxes to keep you poor and to keep you down and to keep you voting for these same schmucks. And we're going to talk about what you need to do to make sure this doesn't happen anymore. But, philosophers forever have known basically how you keep people down. Aristotle, long time ago, right? He says that it is also in the interests of the tyrant to make his subjects poor. The people are so occupied with their daily tasks that they have no time for plotting. You can substitute plotting, you can substitute tyrant with voting and elected members of Congress who we never seem to be able to get rid of. And we're going to talk about sort of why that is. But what's taking place here? How does your government raise money? We know now it raises money through the income tax primarily, which is added to the U.S. Constitution in 1913 by the 16th Amendment. Ever since then, they have used that as a tool to reelect themselves and to keep you down. This is their primary tool for ensuring that you don't make it ahead, to ensure that you become dependent on the programs and handouts that they want to give you. How else do they raise money? They raise money through what are known as tariffs, right? If country A wants to send goods into country B can impose tariffs, right? 23% of the value of those goods you're going to have to pay to the government of country B if you want to send your goods from country A into country B. And so there are a whole bunch of different types of tariffs, and these are very much in the news right now, right? You have what are called protective tariffs. You have reciprocal tariffs. You have income-generating tariffs. Prior to the introduction of the income tax in the 16th Amendment, we primarily used tariffs as a vehicle to raise money to support the United States federal government and its activities, right? But what's taking place right now, right? The protective tariff, what is it? A protective tariff. Let's say you have an industry, a widget manufacturing industry that's very developed in your country, and you want to protect that widget manufacturing company from another country with very, very cheap labor, right? And so what do? You say, okay, if you're country A and you're protecting your widget industry and country B with cheap labor wants to send a bunch of widgets into your economy at a very, very low price, you impose a tariff on those widgets coming into the United States to make them cost more to protect your industry. That's not what Donald Trump is doing with tariffs, folks. Not at all. In fact, these other two reasons are the principal reasons Donald Trump has been talking about tariffs. Reciprocal tariffs, folks. What is a reciprocal tariff? A reciprocal tariff is eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. You do to me, I'm going to do to you. That is what Donald Trump is doing. So if Canada wants to impose 200% tariffs on the importation of American agricultural commodities, because they have historically had a lot of tariffs on agricultural commodities, what else does Canada got? Some auto industry we've thrown in a bone. Other than that, most Canadians live within 100 miles of the U.S. border. And so what industry does Canada have? They've got energy, they've got agriculture, things of that nature, right? So a reciprocal tariff. We would tell Canada, hey, you want to tax our agricultural goods? Boom. We're going to do the same thing. And that's what a reciprocal tariff is. That is primarily what Donald Trump is doing. And so what we have seen happen, the leadership in Vietnam is called the Trump administration, our arch enemy Vietnam, and said, hey, we want to go to zero taxes. How about that? Because we hit them with reciprocal taxes. Now they want to drop tariffs to zero for both them and for us. And so they're having those negotiations. nations. And so using tariffs as a tool to get other countries to treat us fairly for once, because the rest of the world has taken advantage of the United States for far too long. You want access to our markets, we get access to your markets on an equal and fair basis, right? And so income is the second reason Donald Trump is talking about tariffs, to generate income. Income so that we can do what? Well, we can get rid of the 16th Amendment and the income taxes, right? So what do they use income taxes for, right? Let's say you make X amount of dollars. We'll just make this easy because, my math isn't all that great. Let's say you make $100 a month, and that's, that puts you, above the poverty line. You're doing all right. You're trucking along. And so this is your income here. That's how much you make a month. Let's say the United States federal government imposes an income tax and says, boom, we're going to take this much. And they take it before you even get your check, people. The federal government gets your money before you get a penny, right? Let's say now, right, what's the problem with this? Here's the problem, folks. Let's put a poverty line on here. Let's say this is the poverty line right here. This is where your government wants to keep you. The members of Congress, folks, Mark Kelly from the state of Arizona, what's her name? Amy Klobuchar. You've got Senator Murkowski up in Arizona, right? Up in Alaska. You've got all of these members of Congress who have a vested interest in keeping you here. And that is why they are all bitching about Trump and Trump's tariffs, and they're all trying to deny Trump his executive authority to impose tariffs on countries. They want you here. Why? What does Congress do? Congress passes a law that creates a program that they can throw you a bone. Let's throw the little people a bone, right? And what does that bone get you? Well, here's what that bone gets you. That bone gets you right here, right? Oh, we're going to put you back up to here. That's what they do. This is what Congress does, folks. They keep you in poverty. They keep you as close to the poverty limit as possible so that you're so busy trying to protect your credit score, the most important thing in your life, and that you're too busy trying to make ends meet to worry about getting involved in politics, to worry about actually studying your senator and member of the House of Representatives. They don't want you to do that. They want to keep you busy so that they can throw you a handout and give you that bone and keep you voting for them because they're helping you. Did anybody think to call their senator and representative and say, hey, get rid of this damn income tax, let me have all of my money, and I will be above the poverty line. I will be just fine. Call your senator, call your representative, tell them to get rid of income taxes and to support income-generating tariffs so that you can have your income, so that you can choose what to buy, so that we can get rid of all these programs. Because here's the way it works, folks. Right, they create a program, and your money that they take from you goes to a bureaucracy. I don't even want to try to spell that, so I'm just going to say bureaucracy, right? This bureaucracy then gives you the money, and they keep taking your money. And what do we have here, folks? We have a cycle. We have this circle. It is time to end this cycle. Give you your money back and let you deal with what you want to buy and get them to stop doing this, because you are their slaves. Pure and simple, folks. You are their slaves. And it's time for the American people to stand up and to say no more. And with that, I say peace.